Hi class. We now begin the second part of this project. Yesterday we used black glue. On this one I used black oil pastel, which also would work, but we used white paper, which makes this project turn a little bit away from the one we saw online. It's going to be a little bit different. And what I want you to start with for 5 minutes today is using some bright colors of oil pastel to add texture and line to your project. So that means going in and filling in each space with maybe a different kind of texture. Here I'm using light green to do some little dashes, and here I'm using some light yellow to do some line. And every space will get some different treatments. There's probably some that you can think of that I can't even think of. Here's some zigzag, and then something else we saw the artist use was maybe some swirls. If you wanted to use one color for all of this, you could. I'm using lots of different colors for lots of different spaces. And that's going to add a lot of cool design. And then our next step is going to be, once it's all done, adding some liquid watercolor. And for that you need a nice thick clump of paper towel. You need a nice clean water that you're sharing with a partner. And your table will have an assortment of watercolors that are very bright, very stainy. And it comes in red, orange, yellow, green, blue, violet, and magenta. And the trick for this is to use two colors inside of each space, unless of course it's a tiny space, and to let them blend into each other. And the two colors I want you to use are going to be analogous colors. That means two colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. So we know, for example, that red and orange are next to each other in the rainbow and in the color wheel. And I think I'm going to fill half of my space with red, and then I'm going to bring in, I clean my brush very thoroughly in between every color. This one even still had some blue on it. That's why the red looks different. So that every color can be super bright and pure, and we're sharing, so we all need to make sure that the colors stay pure. I'm just doing one dip and some tap tap, leaving that watercolor in the middle of the table. I'm not taking the cup out. Now here comes my orange. I started on the opposite side, and it's going to blend into the red. And now that space has a nice gradation from red to orange. When it's time to use a new color, I wash out my brush, blot all of the extra water out, and another color combo we could use is maybe yellow and green. Yellow only stays yellow when our brush is clean. Here I am doing yellow in the bottom of my nose, being careful not to touch other colors. Now I clean my brush, blot my brush, and I can do one little dip, a tap tap, to get enough green for the whole top. Usually you can fill almost half your paper with just one dip of the brush, even tapping out the extras. So now my yellow and green analogous colors are blending into each other. And I see something here where I would like to clean my brush, dry it, and even help blend them some more with a dry brush. So sooner or later, you're going to come up with an artwork that is almost all filled